Dear children, so far we learned about phylum Porifera, phylum Nidaria, phylum Ctenophora, phylum Platyhelminthes, phylum Aschelminthes, phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda, phylum Mollusca, phylum Echinodermata, and phylum Hemichordata. And thus we have come to an end of all the non-chordates. Now let us begin with the next phylum, that is phylum Chordata. So phylum Chordata, what are the special features of all the animals which is coming under phylum chordates? So it includes all the animals which is having a notochord and also a dorsal tubular nerve cord and pharyngeal glissons. So these are the exclusive features: a notochord, a nerve cord, and pharyngeal glissons. So what is a notochord? As we have learned earlier, it is a flexible rod located in the mid dorsal line between the alimentary canal and the nerve cord in the embryo. So this is the notochord. We can see notochord is present between the alimentary canal. So this is the alimentary canal and also the nerve cord. This is the nerve cord and this is the alimentary canal. So notochord is a flexible rod which is present between the alimentary canal and the nerve cord in the embryonal stage. And about the differences between the chordates and non-chordates. The notochord is present in the embryonic stage in the case of chordates, whereas it is absent in the case of non-chordates. And a central nervous system is present in chordates, which is dorsal in origin, it is hollow and single. Whereas in the case of non-chordates, the position is ventral and it is solid. It is hollow in the case of chordates, whereas here it is solid. Here it is single, whereas here it is double. So in the case of the nerve cord or the central nervous system, it is dorsal, hollow and single in the case of chordates, whereas in the case of non-chordates, it is ventral, solid and double. Pharyngeal gill slits are present in the case of chordates, whereas it is absent in the case of non-chordates. We can see these are the pharyngeal gill slits, which is present in chordates. The heart is ventral in the case of chordates, whereas in the case of non-chordates, it is dorsal in position. If it is present, it is dorsal in position. And a post-anal tail is present in the case of chordates, whereas it is absent in the case of non-chordates. So these are the differences between chordates and non-chordates. It is with regard to the notochord, the central nervous system, the presence or absence of pharyngeal gill slits, the position of the heart, if it is present, and the presence of a post-anal tail. The phylum Chordata can be divided into three subphyla. What are the three subphyla? They are Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. I repeat, three subphyla are present under phylum Chordata. The subphyla are subphylum Urochordata, subphylum Cephalochordata, and last subphylum Vertebrata. So what is this? What are the animals which are included under the subphylum Urochordata, or it is called as Tunicata? The notochord is present. The notochord is present, but it is present only in the tail of a larva. So notochord is present, but only in the larval stage, that is in the tail region. And the body is covered by test, which is made up of tunicin called substance. So the body is covered by a test-like structure and it is exclusively marine and it is hermaphrodite. What is a hermaphrodite? That is male and female sex organs are present on the same body. Examples of the urochordates are Acidia, Salpa and Doliolum. So these are the examples of the phylum Urochordata. So the first subphylum is Urochordata. The notochord is present but only in the larval tail and the body is covered by a tunicin and it is exclusively marine and is hermaphrodite. Example is Acidia, Salpa and Doliolum. Now the next subphylum is Cephalochordata. The notochord is present. Unlike the Urochordata, it is not present in the larval tail. It is present from head to tail region and is persistent throughout their life. It is not only present in the larval stage, it is present throughout their life, starting from the head to the tail region, and is fish-like body. The body is just like fish-like. It is also marine and sexes are separate. They are not hermaphrodite. So examples are Branchiostoma. Branchiostoma is an example of the subphyla Cephalochordate. The last is about the subphyla Vertebrata. With respect to the notochord, in the case of Urochordata, it was present only in the larval tail. In the case of cephalochordates, it persisted throughout their life from head to tail, whereas in the case of vertebrates, it possesses a notochord during the embryonic period. And this embryonic notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or a bony vertebral column in adults. So, in the case of adults, the notochord, which is present in embryonic stage, is replaced by either a cartilaginous structure or a bony structure, which is called as a vertebral column. The heart is ventral in position. There are specialized organs for excretion and osmoregulation. They are called as kidneys. What is osmoregulation? Osmoregulation is maintaining a constant salt concentration within the body. And there are paired appendages, that is, it can be either fins or limbs. So paired appendages are present. So that's about phylum Chordata. The notochord, which is present in the embryonic stage, is replaced in the adults either by a cartilaginous or a bony vertebral column. The heart is ventral in position and is a muscular organ. Kidneys help in excretion and also in osmoregulation. Paired gills or fins are present. Now let us learn the subdivisions under vertebrata. The vertebrata, that is subphylum vertebrata, is again divided into agnatha and natha stomata. Agnatha means all the organisms which are jawless. They do not have a jaw. So all organisms or animals which is lacking a jaw under chordates comes under agnatha. And those who have jaws under vertebrata, they come under natha stomata. So again, the jawed animals, they can be divided to superclasses. The two superclasses are Pieces and Tetrapoda. As we had just learned in vertebrata, they bear either fins or limbs which are paired. So under Gnatha stomata, those organisms which bear fins comes under superclass called as Pieces, and those animals which bear limbs comes under the superclass Tetrapoda. The superclass Pieces can be again divided two classes. They are chondric thighs and aestic thighs. And the superclass Tetrapoda is again divided into four classes: Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammalia. So, dear children, in this module we have learned about the three subphyla under phylum Chordata, namely Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and also Vertebrata. We also learned that the vertebrata is divided into agnatha, that is jawless, and natha stomata, that is jawed. Again, the jawed animals can be divided based on the presence of fins or limbs. If they are bearing fins, they come under the superclass Pieces. If they are having limbs, they come under the superclass Tetrapoda. And the Pieces are again divided into classes, namely chondric thighs and aestic thighs. And Tetrapoda, they are divided into classes, namely Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammalia. Thank you.